Hello!
Topic Tuesday is now live. Let's wait a couple of minutes for people to join us. We're here with the lovely Elia Esparza.
Hey guys.
I'm super excited to have this lovely soul in here. She has been so inspirational for me and for my son.
Oh, I love your son. Yeah, he's so cute.
And we just want to get to know more about you and how, you started and everything. So tell us a little bit more.
Well, I started singing when I was 3 years old. Started taking lessons when I was 8 or 9. And then was just really heavily involved in choir, theater. I had a private voice coach who trained me in opera. So I was lucky enough to be involved with a lot of different types of teachers and mentors. And then when I was 17, I moved to New York to attend the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts, which is an art school in New York City. And I lived in New York for 6 years. I had friends that worked in studios, and they'd bring me in, and basically I've been to almost every studio in New York, and I would do a lot of writing sessions and demo sessions. And at that time, when I was 19 or 20, I started to really define do I want to be an actress or do I want to do music? Right. Not that I can't do both, but I really just felt more myself when I was in a studio, writing and creating my own work. So I kind of decided, I was I really want to be a recording artist. I still love acting and I still do that type of stuff as well, but my main focus is writing and creating music. So from there I decided I wanted to do every single open mic in New York. And so every week I'd go to every open mic possible with my guitar player at the time, and I've performed so many different venues and been lucky enough to be involved in different projects and recording studios. And then I started doing YouTube videos. Very bad YouTube videos. My first YouTube video.
I don't think they're
well,
bad.
my very first ones, I'm just hey, I'm gonna sing this song. I'm not as confident. And but from there, I started to make more, and that's actually how The Voice found me.
Oh,
is through YouTube. I had auditioned when I was 17, I think 16, when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And then at the time when I finally actually got on the show, I hadn't auditioned, and they reached out to me.
Really?
Yeah, and they were hey, do you want to be on the show? And I was absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's that's the quick version of how all of that happened.
And as we, progress and as you keep growing, last week or 2 weeks ago, I just keep seeing you everywhere,
Yeah.
And I think, how has that changed your life? Because not only have you, I see you such a go-getter. You do not stop. You're constantly going, and you're not going to wait for nobody to tell you yes. And I'm not a yes type of person either. I'm kind of if you tell me no, well, hold on. I'm going to keep going until I get that yes.
Yeah. I think moving to New York at such a young age, it made me grow up really quick. Mm-hmm. And New York is such a fast-paced, hustle, or the next person's already in front of you type of environment, that it really instilled that let's get to work. There's no time to waste. And I think I've always been a very I like to be busy. I like to have things already set up. Yeah. I like to I'm very into saying yes to things, most things. Yeah. If I feel the opportunity is right. Yeah. Because you never know what's gonna come from it.
Right.
And a lot of the things that I've done have been because I said yes, even to the unknown. Right. Kind of. Some things were not the best experience, and some were the best experience, and so. But I learned from all of that. I've been. Yeah,
it grounds you and it changes you, and then as you keep going forward, you'll know if it's the right step for you, mm-hmm. and if you'll know when to say no next time. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you're traveling in. Okay, so let's talk about your last performance, your really big one.
Yes.
Because I was super excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I was on La Voz Mexico, and my coach was Laura Pausini, mm-hmm. and I was blessed enough for her to ask me to open up for her in Los Angeles at the Greek Theater. And it was such an incredible experience. I couldn't believe that, she was giving me that opportunity. And she's such a I admire her so much, not only as like a singer and a vocalist, but as an artist, because she's been touring for 20 years. And, you know, to be humble enough to give someone like me, who's like a nobody, like an opportunity, was just incredible. And
you know, and I think in argument, you're not a nobody, and I think that you're...
yeah, sorry. Like, I'm someone, but like, I just mean like, I'm not close, like, I'm not on her level, but like for her to, you know, be a mentor and like lend out her hand and give that opportunity to me, I would like definitely want to do that whenever I'm in her position as well.
Yeah, and you know, and the sight of you when I came in, you know, and you were kind of stumbled upon each other, right?
Yeah, we did.
And I'm getting to know you and stuff, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna open up, you know, and you said, you know, the number of people, and I'll let you share that, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of people, you know, and how many people was that?
It was like the venue holds like 40,000 people, and I would say it was like 30,000 or so.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a lot of confidence, even for you to have to get up there and do all that.
Yeah.
And what could you share like with younger entrepreneurs?
I would say to like, you have to work on whatever your craft is when no one's looking. Like on the days that you don't have anything booked, on the days that you're not known for what you're doing, or even if you are, you have to like every day have your daily duties of like, I vocalize, I write, I practice, I listen to music, I'm researching, like I'm watching interviews of artists or writers or producers. Like I'm constantly learning and preparing myself, because I think, you know, all the years that I spent in my room by myself and no one was watching, practicing, and, you know, like dancing in the mirror, or like how I would perform, all that kind of came into fruition when I was actually like, okay, here's a platform, like it's time to perform. Right. Because when that opportunity comes, there's no time to get ready. Yeah. Like you have to be ready.
You know, and I think, you know, and you're absolutely right. Yesterday I had to, you know, stand in front of my peers and like give a class and stuff. And for me it was like, I know that my mentor was there, and I know that she saw me and was like, oh my god, you're this whole other person. But you're right. Like, you really, if you're not practicing when no one is looking, then what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, you kind of have to, like, I mean, I think part of it's, like, preparation, and then the other part is, like, those times where, like, you gotta wing it, but, like, all that groundwork comes up. Yeah. You're never actually winging it, because you're like, I've got this.
Yeah, and it's kind of preparing. You're preparing yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and your confidence is, I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. So have you ever felt like you didn't have confidence? I have no idea.
I went through a time period when I lived in New York, because I was in acting school, that I didn't sing. I didn't think I could sing.
What?
Yeah, I really was like, no, like, I'm not a singer, like, I just like to sing, even though it had been, like, my dream my whole life, and I got the confidence to, like, get voice lessons, and my mentor, he, like, I remember going into the studio, and, like, he was like, sing me something, and I sang for him, and then he tested out my range, and he was like, you can sing any song you want. Like, literally any song.
I love that you're being so vulnerable.
No, and I was like, what? No. Like, I can't. I didn't believe him, and then he had me hit, like, some high notes and stuff, and he's like, yeah. He's like, you can sing any song, you just have to believe it. And that, like, I will not lie, that session with him changed my life. Changed the course of, like, my career and my life, because I went home after that day and, like, started practicing every day. And kind of got my voice back through, like, believing it. It was really weird.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Where do you get all your inspiration?
I'm a huge fan of, like, the divas. Like, I was devastated when Aretha Franklin passed last week. I was like, no. But, like, Aretha, Mariah, Whitney, Celine, Christina, like, all of the big divas, like, I think even when I was a little girl, like, I just used to listen to their albums and cry and try and sing them and practice in the mirror. So they're huge inspirations for me. Like, all the
I mean, I feel like, if I were your parent, I'd be like such a proud mama, you know? Because you carry such good presence. I mean, I'm telling you, and I met you one time prior to getting to know you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, she's a good time. You know?
Yeah.
And that's good, because it's good, you want to have that energy around you, and it's like what you said, it's like finding your tribe, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's definitely a part of what your new image is. You definitely are able to bring that confidence out. And, you know, we don't rarely talk about little boys and stuff, but when you were here and I was telling you about, you know, my son, I mean, just these little tips that you gave him, I'm telling you, the next day he had his, like, piano out. Now he's, like, playing violin.
I could cry. That's so cute.
No, it is. And so, I mean, again, I was being vulnerable because we don't really talk about that stuff, you know. I don't share much like that. Yeah. And then you told him about a violin. So now he's playing violin.
Oh.
And I have to send you a picture of that. Cause he is.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I think that is cool that you can do that. You're doing that for so many more people. You're gonna be big and you're gonna get there. But it's good that you do these things along the way because you get to inspire younger kids. Yeah, and that's another thing I really love. Children. I worked as a clown for 4 years, yeah. But I'm always just like, I love being around kids because they keep me young. No, I'm just kidding. But, and I love, like, if I can just plant a seed for, and even not just kids, but like for anyone, and to kind of like, for them to grow through that, like, I love doing things like that. Like, I love, not that I say, like, I've made it, I'm super successful or anything, but, like, I know people look up to me, and I like being able to be like, you can do it, too. You just have to, like, do it. Yeah. And I like that you said that because we both came in. You were out of town. I was out of town. And you just said, and you're like, first thing I asked you, like, are you tired? And you're like, no, I'm not tired. And you're like, are you tired? I'm like, no, because the more that we keep going, the more that we stay busy, what's the right word to say? And the growth will be stronger, and then our will be stronger. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean, I just always think like, there's something that I don't know where I heard this or who said it or maybe I don't know, but it's like half of life is showing up, and a lot of people don't show up. Oh, I love that. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've always carried because I've gotten opportunities because other people don't show up, but because they know, like, I'm just showing up. Because I'm like, what am I going to be doing instead of, like, showing up? Like, at home, hanging out? Like, I would much rather be full day, busy, productive, talking to people. And making everybody feel super special, you know? And I think you do that as an individual. Oh. You give your 100%. It's, you know, it's very rare to see people like that. And I want to be really honest with you. Like, when you're here, like, you're present. And it's the weirdest thing because you don't see that a lot. And as long as you're like that with everybody, because in my field, I have to be present of course, with everybody. But I love that. I love to see that from somebody who, I mean, as an individual is doing that, just her own character. Yeah. You know? I'm like, wow, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah. I do try and practice, like, you know, really in taking, like, what's happening. Because people can tell you can tell the difference when someone's, like, there when they're just, like, not. Yeah. What is your beauty routine now that you're super busy? You know what? Because I'm, like, always, like, I pretty much wear makeup every day for the most part, but I've gotten down to a science, like, I can get ready, like, really quick. Yeah. And it's just, like, I wash my face. I don't use anything crazy, but I use, like, rose water. I love moisturizer for sure. And sunscreen. I wear sunscreen every single day. Because protect the skin, guys. Yeah. And I just slap on foundation. I pretty much just do the same, like, simple, I do my eyebrows real quick and, like, do my eyeshadow real quick. And my signature is, of course, like, my winged eyeliner and a nice lip. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah. And I think you have to, like, create these, like, new routines because it's like, boom, like, you're in and out. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, well, and this is our Topic Tuesday. And and I love that it's live. And hi, guys, if anybody, we didn't say hi to you, thank you for showing up and being here and watching us. Yeah. And we're going to have her back in a couple of weeks. She's going to share more with us. This is not the last of Elia Esparza with us. Woo! Yeah, so we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Bye. Thanks. Bye.